So this is it. Car camping begins. I am going to primarily, well, I'm going first to Walney, which is where I'm going to spend the night. And for the next few days I will be in Barrow in Furness, Dalton in Furness, Ulverston, and wherever I happen to go in between. Most of this trip is specifically for genealogy, so there will be a lot of walks around graveyards, because I have graveyards where I know I have ancestors buried, and we're talking ancestors from 1860s onwards. Some of them I think have headstones, which will be great because that doesn't happen very often, and I'm going to see what I can find. I'm a bit confused on some of the ancestors because they all have the same names, and I'm struggling to make sure that I've got exactly the same lineage going further back, but I'm going to do what I've set out to do, and if it turns out I've got the wrong person or whatever, I'll just work it out as I go along. It is absolutely roasting. I don't know what the temperature here is in my car. It's 23 degrees outside now, and it's going to be 24 and 25 while I'm away tomorrow and Friday. So that's it. I'm on my way, and really looking forward to it. So it's totally a brand new area. I think my dad said that when we were kids and we used to go on holiday to the Lake District a lot, and we have been to Ulverston before apparently, because we sort of knew the family history came from there. But we're talking, what, 40 years ago probably, and I have no recollection of it. So to me this is totally new. I'm really looking forward to it. I've planned lots for this trip. I have got loads of pins on my Google Maps. So let's hit the road, and we'll see you at the other end. And I'll record the whole journey, and what I will do, as I always do, I will put the entire road trip as a separate post. So if you wanted to watch the entire journey, you can. I think I've solved my phone problem. I've swapped out a slightly temperamental SD card for a good one. I've been using this for a few weeks on this phone, and I haven't lost any footage so far. So I'm hoping it's just that the other SD card is either a bit temperamental or just doesn't like my old mobile, because I've put the slightly temperamental one into my regular mobile phone, which I don't use to record these journeys, and so far nothing has been lost. So who knows, it'd be nice if I've ended up with two cards. Anyway, so let's hit the road, and see you at the other end. See you there. Look at the size of this parking. It's huge. So I've put myself right into the corner. I've tucked myself in here, and this is where I'm going to be for the night. But look at that. And over the other side there is the sea. It's quite windy because the sea is that way, but it's silent as anything. What you can hear is wind through the grasses and birds, and there's the odd car coming past, but there's not that much out here. I'll show you the view from where I am. Hopefully it's not too windy. I haven't got my muffler on yet, but this is what I can see from the front of the car. So I'm going to get myself organised, have some food, and then I'm going to go for a walk because it's only 5:30. I ended up getting here much earlier than I thought because I was ready earlier than I thought, and I thought, what's the point in sitting around? I might as well just go for it. So I'm going to do that, and good stuff. So there's the car park. Let's head off for a walk. Let's see what we can find. There's a main walking path in front, and to the left there's a backup parking option, which a lot of people also use. And in front is the sea. So we're at a place called Bigger, and up there is Walney, which is where I drove down from. This isn't really a beach. It's not what I thought it was going to be. From the air it looks like a proper beach. But it looks walkable, so I'm going to walk along and try and find somewhere a bit safer to climb down. There's my little car just hiding there. It's very warm today, although this breeze is very welcome. Just as I was heading off to start my journey, both my phones said they were going to overheat and shut down. It was 23 degrees outside, but probably 30 in the car. Let's go down here. It's very dry. I've got my hiking boots on, so it's just as well. Oh, it really smells of the sea. Oh, amazing. Look at this. It may be a pebbly beach, but I'll take any beach I can get. I'm not sure what's going on with the tides here, and I'm going to walk just along this stretch. Because I've so wanted to get back to the sea since last September. Remains of a wall there. How smooth those bricks have been made by the sea. Some more wall there. And there. Some big chunks up here as well. Very weird. I wonder where all this stone rubble has come from. Obviously here to fortify the banks against the sea. But look, that one's got Roman numerals on it. So these are probably bits of buildings and unwanted stone and all sorts. Big chunk of metal there. doing some work there. Soil erosion caused by the sea, no doubt. And they're working to try and save it, otherwise the car park that I'm on, that road, are going to be in the sea otherwise. Got to bring my binoculars, I left them in the car. Not to worry. Now, I can probably go up there. I wonder... There are definitely people down there. I'll walk on a bit. Little bits of pottery and all sorts here. It's like mudlarking, but looking at stones. I'm pretty sure the tide is going out. I don't know how far out it goes. I suspect there is not a way through here. So we'll walk up a little bit more and then I'll turn round and go back where those two people are walking. Some of the stones here are amazing. Look at this. Stripes. A lot of stones here have stripes running through them. Get to this end bit here where all the rocks are in the sea, and then we'll turn round and we'll wander back. Yes, there's going to be no way through here. This is all unsafe bank. Which is fine. Nice to walk though. See the vehicles right up on the top there. That was going to be my backup parking point, which is just down from where I'm actually parked, because I read a review that said that the parking spot I wanted was a good place to park. It's a specially designated overnight motorhome parking spot. The council is desperately trying to pump some energy into tourism in this area because it needs the money. And so there are 4 sites around the Barrow area which are designated free for camper vans, so that people can come and spend time without being charged, and they're just trying to inject a bit of money into the area. But I saw a review on Google Maps for that parking spot that I'm in that said great parking, space for about 5 motorhomes, which it is not. I reckon you could get at least 20 motorhomes on that spot, and the parking is really wide so that you can park end onto the road rather than lengthways, which is why I've managed to park as I did. But it's lengthwise for a motorhome, so there's tons of room. You could easily get 20 motorhomes in there. So I'll have to update the review on Google, because it's a really good place to park, and I think getting that filled up will take quite a lot. I mean, let's walk back. I'm here midweek, as I always do, to avoid too many tourists. At the weekend, maybe it gets really busy. Maybe in the school holidays it gets even busier. But there's a lot of space. And there's this parking place up here which we'll go past, which also has a lot of parking. And then if you carried on down this road behind me, there's another place down there which could probably fit about 20 cars as well. Not as perfect. Well, it doesn't look it from what I've seen. But some of the reviews on places like Park for Night, which I always use to double check parking options for overnighters, none of these places seem to cause trouble, and I'd rather be at somewhere like where those motorhomes are than in a designated overnight lay-by, because you tend to get people who pull up for a couple of hours and you wonder what they're doing there, and they pull up about 11 o'clock or something, and you don't really know what's going on or who's there, and the kids come and park there and smoke weed and stuff, and you don't want that when you're there overnight, you know. It's really quiet out here, so you're going to hear almost anything. Lots of crab shells and crab legs and bits of crab bodies. I am wondering if we get a clear night, this might be a good place for star watching. Because we're not in the immediate vicinity of anywhere really. We'll have to see. I have 2 nights to find out. Oh, some sort of gate with a board on it. Let's have a look. Oh, this looks like a hiking path. England Coast Path. They get ringed plovers, oyster catchers. It's telling everyone to be really careful. Stick to the path, keep dogs on leads. Whenever they say that, you never see dogs on leads. Really irritating. So look, if you follow this, that would take you along that top edge that you couldn't get along. So that's pretty cool. So you can go on bigger rambles here, which is nice. And look, horses. I don't know what that is down there. Drove past that huge whatever it is on the way down. Oh, this is fantastic. So here you can see where they're trying to shore up. Oh, there's a plover. You bet you can't see it on here. There's a ringed plover right in front of me. What a good start to the weekend, or my midweek. Ringed plover. Yes, so look, you can see where they're trying to fortify the bank so that when they get the really high tides and the crashing winter tides, those really vicious ones where the winds whip the land, they can stop the eating away and basically reclaiming all this land back into the sea. Otherwise we can't walk here. And this is quite a narrow spit of land, so just in front of me, you see those white houses, just to the left of that, you can see the river. So this is a long, narrow strip of land that, if they let the sea carry on, will just disappear eventually. And that's how the land changes shape over thousands of years. But this looks like a really good place for wildlife, especially for birds. Look where that plover went. It's June now, so a lot of them have probably raised their chicks by now. They tend to stop in July, because most places where you walk, where they say they have warnings for don't walk across the land, tend to end in July. This is a car park with no restrictions. It's for the walkers and whatever. But you can see there's some people that look like they're settled in for the night. So that's pretty cool. It feels like a safe area to me. And we're right out the way of towns, so you're not going to get a lot of passing people here, because if you follow this road down, you just end up at the end of the land. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere here. So you're not going to have so much passing traffic as people who live out here or work out here, or are coming to these car parks for reasons, whereas a lot of people will just hang about in the town. But this is pretty cool. So there's people having their dinner. They're just here to watch the sea. Look at that sunset coming in there, look at that. So I'm going to follow the path, go back to the car, have some more food, and start bed building, I guess. I have plenty of time. Here's a skylark. So that's the main road, I think. Where's that? No, oh, that's right. There's a restriction for the car park. So this is for the car park, and then down there, beyond that height restriction, there is the road that I was driving in on. So this is part of the East Coast Path. This is pretty good. Oh look, I can see my car. And now there's another motorhome that's pulled up and a car. It'd be nice if there were a few people here overnight and no one wants to be on their own. So if there are a few motorhomes here, that will feel, well, it will feel safer, for sure. Lots of people out walking here, lots of runners. I've seen loads of people since I've been here. Look, picnic tables. Let's go and have a look over the edge. And that's where we were walking. And there's that couple I passed earlier with their two dogs coming back. This place is really cool. I like it here. The sound of the sea is so therapeutic. There are so many people walking down there. So many. Crazy. I can hear oyster catchers. So 3 birds already, which is good. So, let's find a little path back to the car. And we shall chill out for the rest of the day. It's so nice to be somewhere where it's peaceful. There's no TV. I even brought a book. A book that I was given for my birthday in March, and I haven't even started reading yet. I'm so bad about reading. I used to be such an avid reader and just lost the love for it. I constantly feel like I have to be doing things. As soon as I went out to work, started to work, I constantly felt that I had to be more productive all the time, and my ability to really switch off and read just went. So I need to get back into that this year. That's one of my goals for the year, is to read. Now it's a bit breezy here, but we're just protected enough from the sea here that it takes the edge off it. So let's get back in the car and get settled. Just making a cup of tea. I can hear the skylarks. This seems like a pretty fantastic place to hole up for the night, I have to say. I hope it stays like this. Can't tell if you can see me properly. It's so sunny here. It's about 7 o'clock. Ooh, it's 20 to 8 already. And I've just been sitting here, bird watching out the window. I've just seen a stone chat. It landed right in front of me on the other side. And I can't remember the last time I saw a stone chat. In fact, there was a male and a female, so that was pretty cool. And I've heard curlews, and I've seen one curlew. And it's really nice. So a few dog walkers have pulled up in their cars, gone dog walking, come back. There's 2 or 3 camper vans in there, another chap's just pulled up. I suspect these are people that are going to be overnighters, which is nice. I'm not going to be the only one here overnight. And I just love this here. This is such a great place. I feel pretty relaxed here. I think I might get a decent night's sleep. It's like the first night I was at the last place I went to, when I went up to Scotland, Glencapel, that was it. And the first night you're not quite sure. You know you're okay to be there, you're allowed to be there, but you're not quite sure what it's like after hours. And then so the second night I slept a lot better because I was familiar with it. And it's always like that when you're in a new place. And I think that if I was constantly on the road, I would take a long time to feel really relaxed about it. Because you're constantly worried, am I going to get a knock, am I going to get this, and am I going to get that? I didn't think that was going to happen at Glencapel because you were allowed to stay there. And the same here, you're allowed to stay here. So it's not as if anyone's going to come and move you on. It's fine. It's just what happens after hours when nobody's here. But so far, I feel really good about this. Even got good signal here, so I've been doing some work, I have to say. I've been doing some surveys. I still have to earn money. I can't take 3 days out and not earn anything. So I've had a cup of tea, which was nice, because I'm surrounded by very quiet countryside. There's no worry about where am I going to go to the loo. There's lots of long grass and stuff around here, so I don't have to dehydrate myself through the night sort of thing, although I don't want to be getting up all the time through the night. But yeah, this is pretty good. So I'm just sat here with my binoculars looking at the bird life. There's always the odd thing that flies past and you go, oh, wonder what that is. And that I thought was a crow down there, and he's got his wings open. He's sat on a fence post like this with his wings open, and he's obviously had a bath and he's drying himself. It's just really chilled here. I hope it stays clear. I would really like to do some star watching here after dark. Who knows? So the main reason I'm here is because this whole area is where some of the ancestors on my dad's my dad's grandparents, I think, his grandmother's side. I think that's right. It might be a generation back. It might be my dad's great-grandmother. And the surname is Brockbank. And there are a ton of Brockbanks here in this area. It's pretty much every churchyard has got a Brockbank buried in it. And there are various streets I can go to. So I'm going to Barrow in Furness, Dalton in Furness, Ulverston. I don't think I'm going to have much time to get around the towns because the cemeteries are big and I've got a lot of looking to do. I'd like to get into Barrow because Barrow in Furness has a pretty bad reputation for being a dying town full of homeless people and pound shops and stuff like that. So I'd like to go in there and actually have a look. I mean, I drove through on the way down and the whole area looked lovely. The scenery and the countryside driving in was lovely. And you didn't notice as you got closer to Barrow that things went downhill. I mean, it's very modernised, and I'm sure that it has old parts to the town as well. But driving through the main routes, the main roads, it's all big shopping centre outdoor parks. You know, you got your View Cinema and your Tesco extras and all that sort of thing. So it's got everything that people need here. But I don't know what it has in terms of jobs and in terms of industry. I mean, this whole area I think was probably connected to shipping, and a lot of my ancestors who I found in the records seem to be farmers and husbandmen and people like that. So pretty standard working class jobs down the line in my family tree. We get with a lot of agricultural workers, a lot of animal keepers, things like that, which is pretty standard. We come from working class stock. Only a few people seem to have climbed out of the realms, but as the generations go on and wealth generally improves for people that put in the effort, you do find a lot of the family ending up being comfortably working class or middle class, like upper working class, I suppose they call it, really. But there's nothing remarkable about anyone here. I don't have much in the way of photographs. I have a photograph of, I think he's my great ×3 grandfather, who is Edward Brockbank. But it's quite tricky to work out who belongs to who, because there are so many Brockbanks up here, and there are so many Edwards, and so many Thomases, and so many Georges, and it's really hard to work out who belongs to who, because so many of the names run through each family, and they all, births seem to cluster, so you might get 3 Edwards all born in the same year, and then you've got to work out which one is yours, but you can't always find a death for them, so it's really difficult. So there's on the Friday before I head home, I want to go to this one place called Pennington, which I believe is where our earliest Brockbanks that I've got them back to. The last one I've got back, I think, died in 1755, so was probably born around 1700. And I've got them back to that village, and there seem to be a lot of Brockbanks from that village, so I'm hoping that I haven't gone down the wrong route and it's the right branch of the Brockbanks in the right place at the right time. And so I'm going to go up to the churchyard. There's a lovely little old church there, and I'm going to go there on the last day, and then I'm going to go into Ulverston, have a look round Ulverston. There's a churchyard there as well. Ulverston looks like a hell of a bad place to park, so I've really had to research my parking. So hopefully I can get in. And of course it just depends on whether I've got the time. The weather's going to be really hot tomorrow and Friday, and I might just run out of energy. I always tend to over budget time-wise on these things. I will plan what I'm going to do and think it's going to take me X number of hours, and very often it doesn't, and I end up with loads of time over. So I've built in opportunities and parking to go into towns, so that if I have time, because I don't think I'm going to get back here tomorrow evening and not be able to park. This is a huge area with parking and whatever, so I'm not going to struggle for someone to park overnight. So I don't have to feel like I have to rush back to like claim my space for the night. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Anyway, so it's about 8 o'clock now, and I'm going to start building my bed for the night. I have plenty of time. It's not really hot here. Temperatures are supposed to be, I don't know what it is at the moment, but there's a breeze coming off the sea, so it's not going to get really hot here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the weather. It's saying about 17 degrees here now, and tomorrow it's going to be 24, and Friday it's going to be 25. It's going to be about 17 at night tomorrow night, 12 tonight. It's not going to be cold here, I don't think. I've brought my double duvet as usual, so I'm going to put my bed together and then maybe try and read that book, do some more surveys, read, and just chill out and enjoy the fact that it's peaceful, it's quiet, I don't have to do anything. Just make the most of it, because why not? Seems good. It's not even 11 o'clock and it's not quite dark, but I've decided to turn in, and I'm not sure, I'm not tired, and I made up my bed and I tested it out and completely messed up my bed. It was so uncomfortable and I thought, I can't do this. So I took it all apart and tried to do it again, and I'm not sure. I've had a little bit of a jig around and moved a couple of things around. I don't know if it's going to make any difference. I don't think I'm ever going to master this. And it's because when you put the seats down in your car, it's not flat. It's like it goes down a bit and then down a bit more with the hinges, and then it comes up again at the headboard. But you've got these irritating side pieces, so I don't think you can see this. So this bit here, this is my driver's side, it has almost like rolls at the sides to be more comfortable for a driving position. But when you lay on that at night as a sleeping position, particularly because I sleep on my side, that's really uncomfortable. So I've pulled the cool box, which normally sits in this footwell and acts as like a bed extension. I've removed that, pushed the seat forward as far as I possibly can so that I could flatten out the seat a bit more, and I'm going to see how that works, because there's nothing I hate more than not being able to sleep, because it ruins the next day. I feel safe here. It's really quiet. I mean, there are cars going past, but it's quiet here. Loads of camper vans have rolled up since I got here. There's somebody next to me, like not really close, but like a car's width away from me, and all the way down there's loads of them. And there were people coming up to park here who couldn't park. So, and I think that was probably by about 9 o'clock. So you need to get here at a reasonable-ish hour, although further down that way there is more parking, and if you keep going there's even more parking. So I'm pretty sure that everyone would find a space if they really needed to. Down that way I passed a load of parking that says no overnight parking, but I don't know who's checking if you roll up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't say. Feels a bit stuffy in here, but I don't want to have the window open because it's not secure. So I'm just going to see how I get on tonight. We may have to do things slightly differently tomorrow. And I'll just see how this bed layout works. I think I need even more stuff to pack out the lumpiness of it. It's just, it's a bit all over the place. We'll see how I go tonight. If it doesn't work, I'm going to have to get up in the night and then redo it. I'm not very good at this, I have to say. I mastered it on my second night at Glen Capel, and I can't remember how I did it now. There was a certain way I laid things and it worked really well, so I'm just going to have to get on with it and see what happens. So, fingers crossed. Let's hope we get a decent night's sleep, and see you in the morning for the next one.